You're standing outside a Texas home, thinking it's finally within reach, until the numbers tell a different story. According to Zillow's August 2025 housing market report, median home prices in several Texas cities have already dropped by more than 14% year over year, with inventory levels stacking up like unsold fireworks. Neighbors may insist the real estate market is still strong, but the rows of "for sale" signs suggest otherwise. On some streets, it feels like an open house graveyard, where properties sit longer and sellers slash asking prices. Then come the home insurance quotes, climbing so high you wonder if the roof is made of gold. Add in property taxes, rising mortgage rates, and unpredictable climate risks, and affordability slips further out of reach. By the time we reach city number 1, you'll see where a potential housing crash could be severe enough to wipe out nearly a decade of home equity. For investors, buyers, and homeowners alike, the question isn't just whether prices will keep falling. It's whether these markets can bounce back, or if they're headed for deeper declines. So, which Texas housing market would you still bet on in 2025? Buckle up, let's start the drive. Number 10. Lubbock. Cruising into Lubbock, Texas, the flat horizon mirrors a housing market that's starting to cool. According to Zillow's August 2025 housing report, the median home price for single-family houses sits around $207,000. That's up slightly from pandemic lows, but inventory has surged nearly 18% year over year, pushing days on market from 35 to over 50. In real estate terms, buyers are gaining leverage. The local economy leans on Texas Tech University, agriculture, and healthcare. While stable, these industries don't bring the same high-income growth as Texas's energy hubs or fast-growing metros. With a median household income of about $60,000, the price-to-income ratio is stretching affordability, especially with mortgage rates still above 6.5%. Many sellers face long waits. One local homeowner reported 3 price cuts over 6 months before securing a single serious offer, and the buyer still demanded repairs and closing cost assistance. Adding pressure, Lubbock sits in Hale Alley. Homeowners' insurance premiums have climbed 20 to 30% in just 2 years, with some insurers raising deductibles or limiting coverage. Combine that with relentless wind and dust storms, and upkeep costs quickly erode budgets. With rising inventory, affordability strain, and higher holding costs, the big question is, will Lubbock home prices rise, flatten, or fall after summer 2025? Number 9. Corpus Christi. At first glance, Corpus Christi, Texas looks like the perfect Gulf Coast escape. Shimmering water, fresh seafood, and postcard sunsets. But beneath the coastal charm, the housing market is under pressure. According to Redfin's August 2025 housing report, the median home price for single-family homes is just under $223,000. Inventory is up nearly 12% year over year, and average days on market have stretched past 60. Roughly 1 in 4 listings saw a price cut this winter, signaling a clear shift toward a buyer's market. The biggest challenge isn't just pricing, it's insurance costs. Located in a hurricane-prone region, Corpus Christi faces steep premiums. The Texas Windstorm Insurance Association approved a nearly 10% rate hike in 2024, while some private insurers raised rates even higher or pulled out entirely. Annual homeowners insurance premiums can top $4,000, with flood insurance adding thousands more. For many households, insurance bills now rival or exceed mortgage payments. On top of that, Nueces County property taxes average about 1.9%, eroding affordability for locals earning a median household income of $65,000. One couple told KYTV they backed out of a deal after projected insurance costs exceeded $6,000 per year. For buyers and investors, Corpus Christi offers beauty with risk. The question is whether the rewards outweigh the rising costs of living on the Texas coast. Number 8. El Paso. Rolling into El Paso, Texas, the wide desert sky feels endless, but the housing market is starting to feel squeezed. According to Zillow's August 2025 market report, the median home price for single-family houses sits around $231,000. That's far more affordable than Austin or Dallas, but the real story is in the slowdown. Housing inventory is up 15% year over year, and days on market have stretched from the low 30s to over 50. El Paso's economy is anchored by Fort Bliss, cross-border trade, and government jobs. These sectors provide stability, but not immunity from national housing and lending trends. With mortgage rates above 6%, demand has cooled. At the same time, property taxes averaging 1.9% in El Paso County are cutting into affordability for households earning the median income of $58,000. Living costs bring additional strain. Summer heat drives energy bills above $400 a month, while water scarcity concerns loom in the background. Homeowners' insurance premiums have also risen 10 to 20% in just 2 years, with insurers scrutinizing hail and wind claims more closely. Culturally, El Paso offers strong community roots and remains more affordable than many Texas metros. But with 22% of listings seeing price cuts in early 2025, sellers are under pressure. If national market conditions weaken further, El Paso home prices could soften even more. Number 7. San Antonio. In San Antonio, Texas, the Riverwalk and Alamo still draw tourists, but the real estate market is losing momentum. According to Redfin's August 2025 housing report, nearly 10% of recent home sales closed at a loss compared to the seller's original purchase price. A clear sign of cooling demand. The median home price for detached houses sits around $254,000, but inventory has surged more than 20% year over year, and days on market now average over 60. The city's building boom of the late 2010s through the pandemic left developers with excess supply. Today, builders are offering rate buydowns, cash credits, and incentives just to move unsold homes. For resale properties, competition from new construction is squeezing sellers. In January, nearly 28% of listings had price reductions, according to Zillow. One Stone Oak couple reported dropping their asking price by $20,000 with no offers for 3 months. Costs add up quickly for buyers. Bexar County property taxes average 2%, meaning nearly $6,000 annually on a $300,000 home. Insurance premiums have also jumped double digits since 2023 due to hail and flood claims, while HOA fees in newer subdivisions push monthly payments even higher. With rising costs and slowing demand, San Antonio's housing market in 2025 looks far less festive than years past. Number 6. Houston. In Houston, Texas, the skyline still sparkles, but the housing market feels less stable. According to Redfin's August 2025 report, the median price for detached homes is just under $267,000, essentially flat year over year. Beneath the surface, though, signs of strain are clear. Inventory is up 23%, and nearly 1/3 of active listings have already seen price reductions this year. Houston has long attracted buyers with its big city affordability, but the true cost of home ownership is climbing. Harris County property taxes average 2.3%, higher than Dallas, while home insurance premiums have surged after repeated severe weather events. In flood-prone neighborhoods near bayous, flood insurance can exceed $3,000 annually, on top of standard coverage. One Meyerland family told KHOU their flood insurance bill is now larger than their former mortgage payment. Oversupply is another challenge. Houston's famously loose zoning has fueled rapid construction, and builders haven't slowed. In some areas, rows of nearly identical new builds compete head-to-head, forcing price cuts and incentives like upgraded kitchens or even backyard pools. The local economy, anchored by energy, shipping, and healthcare, remains strong but cyclical. If oil prices soften or corporate hiring slows, buyer demand could fall further. For 2025 buyers, Houston represents a market with rising ownership costs, oversupply risks, and unavoidable climate exposure. Number 5. Dallas. The Dallas. Texas skyline still shines, but in neighborhoods across the metro, for sale signs are multiplying. According to Zillow's August 2025 housing data, the median price for single-family homes is about $311,000, down 4% year over year. The bigger story is supply. Inventory has surged 25%, and days on market now average more than 55 compared to under 30 in early 2023. Builders race to meet pandemic-era demand, but with mortgage rates above 6%, buyer enthusiasm has cooled. In many suburbs, 3 or 4 nearly identical homes on the same street compete for the same shrinking pool of buyers. Redfin reports that nearly 30% of Dallas listings had price cuts in the past 3 months, showing clear seller pressure. One local seller told the Dallas Morning News they dropped their price twice in 60 days, only to lose a buyer over rising home insurance premiums. The true cost of ownership is climbing. Dallas County property taxes average 2.1%, while homeowners' insurance premiums have risen more than 20% since 2022 due to severe storm claims. Add in HOA fees in master-planned communities, and monthly payments can soar hundreds above the mortgage. Dallas remains a major economic hub, but its housing market in 2025 shows the strain of oversupply, higher rates, and rising costs, with sellers carrying the burden. Number 4. Midland. Rolling into Midland, Texas, you'll see a skyline shaped by oil rigs, cranes, and fading for sale signs. The real estate market here is shifting fast. According to Redfin's August 2025 housing report, Midland's home inventory is up more than 20% year over year, a stark contrast to the red-hot market during the last oil boom. The median home price for single-family houses hovers around $327,000, but with mortgage rates stuck between 6% and 7%, affordability is a growing challenge. Buyers are feeling the squeeze as monthly payments and rising property taxes stretch budgets thin. Midland's housing market is directly tied to the energy sector. When oil prices fall or demand slows, so does buyer activity. That familiar boom and bust cycle is now colliding with steady new construction. Building permits for 2024 stayed above pre-pandemic averages, meaning supply continues to rise while demand weakens. High property taxes, nearly 2%, and climbing homeowners' insurance premiums, thanks to frequent hail and wind damage, add significant holding costs. Dust storms and harsh West Texas weather further raise maintenance expenses. While some investors see opportunity in a slowdown, betting on another oil rebound, the risks are clear. For most buyers, Midland's real estate remains a volatile market where home values can swing as wildly as crude oil futures. Number 3. Galveston. Crossing the causeway into Galveston, Texas, pastel beach houses and Gulf breezes give the impression of a permanent vacation until the insurance quotes arrive. According to Zillow's August 2025 housing data, the median home price for detached houses is just under $337,000. But that price tag hides the real challenge: climate risk premiums. The Texas Windstorm Insurance Association approved another 10% rate hike in late 2024, while FEMA's Risk Rating 2.0 system can push annual flood insurance costs from $2,000 to $5,000, depending on elevation and proximity to water. For many buyers, these expenses rival mortgage payments. Market conditions reflect the added risk. Inventory is up 18% year over year, and days on market have doubled since early 2023, now averaging more than 70 days. Roughly 1 in 3 listings has already seen a price cut as buyers factor insurance costs into affordability. One recent sale closed $50,000 below, asking after the buyer's insurer pulled out mid-closing, forcing last-minute concessions. Galveston's economy, anchored by tourism and port activity, is also highly weather-dependent. Hurricanes are not theoretical here. Hurricane Ike, 2008, and Hurricane Harvey, 2017, caused billions in damages, and NOAA forecasts an above-average Atlantic storm season in 2025. For buyers, Galveston offers coastal charm but at a steep price. Higher risk, higher premiums, and volatile home values tied directly to the weather. Number 2. South Padre Island, crossing the Queen. Isabella Causeway into South Padre Island. The first view is rows of brightly painted beach houses. Postcard perfect, but priced like lottery winnings. According to Zillow's August 2025 housing report, the median price for detached homes sits near $436,000. But that number only scratches the surface. In investor-heavy or luxury segments, prices could face declines of up to 40% under worst-case conditions, based on NOAA's climate projections, compounding flood risk, and recent insurance market pullbacks similar to those seen in other Texas coastal towns. Inventory has surged nearly 30% year-over-year, while days on market have stretched beyond 90 days for many listings. Redfin data shows more than a third of active listings have had price reductions in 2025, with sellers offering concessions such as prepaid HOA fees or fully furnished interiors just to attract buyers. This isn't seasonal slowdown. It's cooling demand in a market once fueled by vacation home buyers and short-term rental investors. The real pain point is insurance costs. Annual premiums for windstorm coverage through TWIA and flood insurance through FEMA can top $6,000 for modest beachfront homes. With FEMA's risk rating 2.0, some properties have seen premium hikes of 50% or more in just 2 years. If insurers retreat further or raise rates again, liquidity could vanish, leaving sellers slashing prices to move properties. Yes, South Padre Island remains a beloved destination with pristine beaches and steady seasonal tourism. Rental demand can help offset ownership costs in strong years. But in 2025, the risks are glaring. Extreme weather exposure, volatile insurance markets, high carrying costs, and reliance on discretionary buyers. Together, these put South Padre at the sharpest end of Texas housing market risk. Number 1. Austin. In Austin, Texas, the tech billboards still shout innovation, but the housing market looks more like a system error. According to Redfin's August 2025 housing data, the median home price for single-family houses is around $512,000, down 6% year-over-year and nearly 10% below the pandemic peak. Inventory is up 28% year-over-year, and roughly 35% of listings have seen price cuts since January. Once the poster child of pandemic migration, Austin saw bidding wars fueled by remote workers and tech transplants. Now, with mortgage rates above 6% and tech layoffs hitting the job market, those same homes are sitting longer. Affordability is a major issue. The price-to-income ratio has pushed far above the national average. With a median household income of $85,000, locals face steep costs. In Travis County, property taxes average 2%, meaning nearly $10,000 annually on a $500,000 home, before insurance. Insurance premiums are also climbing, driven by hail and wind damage, with rates up double digits since 2023. Investor activity, once a key driver, has cooled. Redfin reports, investor purchases down nearly 30% year-over-year, showing even institutional buyers are pulling back. Austin's housing market in 2025 reflects a sharp come-down. High prices, rising costs, and weaker demand, all testing one of Texas's fastest-growing metros. You're standing outside a Texas home, thinking it's finally within reach, until the numbers tell a different story. According to Zillow's August 2025 housing market report, median home prices in several Texas cities have already dropped by more than 14% year-over-year, with inventory levels stacking up like unsold fireworks. Neighbors may insist the real estate market is still strong, but the rows of for sale signs suggest otherwise.